Welcome to Fairy Animal Stories, your go-to place for heartwarming and emotional humans and animal stories. It was a cold winter night in a quiet suburban neighborhood when something extraordinary happened. An act of bravery that would be remembered for years to come. Carried out not by a firefighter or a police officer, but by a devoted golden retriever named Max. Max had been Sarah's companion for almost 8 years, ever since she rescued him from a local animal shelter, following the loss of her husband. He wasn't just a pet. He was her best friend, her emotional support, her guardian in ways she never imagined she'd need. Their days were simple: morning walks in the park, afternoons by the fireplace, and quiet evenings watching old movies. But beneath that simplicity was a deep, unshakable bond. On this particular night, the wind howled against the windows as Sarah curled up in bed with a good book, eventually drifting off to sleep with Max lying faithfully at her feet. Hours passed in peaceful silence until a faulty wire behind the kitchen stove sparked suddenly, igniting the wooden cabinetry and spreading flames with terrifying speed. The fire alarm, its batteries long dead and forgotten, remained eerily silent, offering no warning as smoke began to fill the house. Max, with his acute sense of smell, was the first to notice something was wrong. His nose twitched, his ears perked up, and within moments, he was on his feet, sniffing the air. The scent of smoke triggered his instincts. He knew his home was in danger. He ran to the hallway and saw the faint orange glow reflecting off the walls, and the creeping, curling smoke starting to blanket the floor. Without hesitation, he dashed back into Sarah's room, barking urgently, a sound she rarely heard from him, and one that pierced through her slumber. But Sarah didn't wake. The smoke was already affecting her, making her breath shallow and her mind hazy. Max jumped onto the bed, whimpering and licking her face, nudging her again and again with his nose, barking louder, more frantically. Finally she stirred, her eyes opening slowly, her body weak, disoriented, and coughing. She barely understood what was happening until she saw the thick smoke clouding the room and Max standing beside her, barking with fierce determination. She tried to rise, but dizziness overtook her. Max bit gently at her sleeve, tugging her toward the edge of the bed, refusing to let her give up. Summoning her strength, Sarah stood up with Max guiding her, step by step down the smoke-filled hallway. Flames now licked the ceiling near the kitchen, the heat intense and the air thick with soot. Max led her low to the ground, pushing open doors with his nose, choosing the safest path, constantly looking back to ensure she was still behind him. When Sarah stumbled, Max circled back, nudging her back to her feet with his head beneath her arm like a crutch. As they reached the front door, they found it swollen shut from the heat. Sarah's hands trembled as she tried to unlock it, coughing violently, her vision blurring. Max barked over and over, pawing at the door, the urgency in his voice unmistakable. That sound, combined with the growing blaze, finally caught the attention of a neighbor who had stepped outside to investigate the strange glow and smell. Rushing over, the neighbor forced the door open just as Sarah collapsed onto the porch. Max still beside her, his fur singed slightly but his spirit unbroken. The fire department arrived moments later, battling the inferno that consumed most of the house. But thanks to Max, Sarah was alive. In the days that followed, she would often wake up in tears, hugging Max tightly, overwhelmed by the thought of what could have happened if not for him. News of Max's heroism spread like wildfire. He was awarded a Medal of Honor by the fire department, featured on local news channels, and celebrated as a true hero. People from across town came to meet the brave dog who had risked his life to save his owner. But Max didn't care for fame. He cared only for Sarah, curling up beside her in their temporary housing, always watching, always protecting. For Sarah, Max wasn't just a pet. He was a guardian angel with paws. She never let a day go by without thanking him, without showing him the love and appreciation he so deeply deserved. Their bond, once strong, was now unbreakable. Every time she looked into his gentle brown eyes, she saw the soul of a protector who would go to any length to keep her safe. The memory of that night, though harrowing, became a reminder of how love, loyalty, and courage can shine through even the darkest of times. Max, the dog who once needed saving, had become the savior, proof that sometimes the greatest heroes come with 4 legs and a wagging tail.